Doesn't muck around. Does not muck around. What a grim old day, hey? Counting down the seconds for spring to spring. Been thinking about first class motorcycling. If you can imagine such a thing. I think I'm coming pretty close to it today. This is BMW's K1600B Grand America. It's basically Bimmer's two-wheeled 7 Series limousine equivalent. You could call it a bagger, but I'd prefer to call it a limousine. Big, luxurious, every tech feature you can conceive of, and fast, believe it or not. It's got a 1.6 litre 6-cylinder engine, 118 kilowatts and 180 newton meters, 160 horsepower in the old language. And along with that, it pairs nicely with the Foresight Mark 1S smart helmet I've been wearing. Yes, that's a thing, smart helmet. More on that a bit later. It's finished in this incredible meteoric colour scheme. It's one of the most unique and interesting colour schemes I've seen on a motorcycle in recent memory, by far. She's a big girl, 111 litres of storage from those big bags, and they're all keyless, which has been really convenient actually. You know, you don't have to pull out the little key to open them up. I love this massive screen, which is all electronic. Look how high it goes. It's a bit intimidating, like it weighs 367 kilograms. I feel like the suspension is making decisions for me a lot of the time, and I probably needn't be as concerned as I am. Fortunately, it has a reverse gear. Seriously, you want it on this thing. You can get into positions where you simply, like, if you park down a hill, you just can't lever it back. So they've sort of thought of everything. They've got the new 10.25 inch TFT, which I reckon it's the best screen in the business. It's so bright and easy to read. Not to mention the full surround sound speaker system, which I don't even need to mention it these days. Of course you can connect your phone and do everything like that. And probably the best pillion seat I've ever seen, which of course has inbuilt speakers as well. Both the front and back seat is heated, grips are heated. Do I need to mention cruise control? Do I need to mention those things? You can already tell it's got it. It's got everything. 3 rider modes. It's fast though, and I tell you what, it makes such a good sound on the pipe. It hauls, and when you're at the top end of the rev range, yeah, it sounds like a car, because 1.6 litre 6 it basically is a car-sized motor, bigger than some. So yeah, the Foresight Mark 1S, the smart helmet, I've been testing. It's made by an Australian company, and why it's called smart, well, it's full of all kinds of features. It looks like a normal helmet, but within is things like Harman Kardon speakers, an omnidirectional mic which you can use for phone calls and stuff like that. It's got a heads-up display, so as you're riding in front of you, the helmet actually projects information like, you know, navigation prompts, speed cameras, things like that, controlled by your phone. It's also got a 1080p HD camera in the front, which I don't think it's going to replace my GoPro setup that I'm using right now, my bigger GoPro setup. But what it will be really good for, I think, is when you're on the racetrack, because more and more racetracks won't allow helmet mounted cameras. So I'll definitely try that out. When I first heard about it, I thought, yeah, okay, great, that's so cool to have all those things built into the helmet without having them hanging off, but I thought, oh, it's surely going to make the lid really heavy. But it's only 1,500 grams, which is totally manageable. That's probably aided by the fact that it's got carbon fiber shell. It's also got those sunglasses that you can put up and down with a little button. So yeah, it's pretty fruited out helmet. I don't know how I feel about the idea of a smart helmet, but I'm going to test it thoroughly and I'm going to see what it's like, because, you know, it does, when you're on a big trip, it would be nice to easily put on your music and stuff. It would be nice to take phone calls. It would be nice to be able to record a moment as it happens without screwing around too much with heavy cameras. So I'm going to give it a chance, and it's made by an Australian company, so I think it presents as a really cool thing, and it costs $1,299, which if you built a helmet with a comm system and a camera and stuff, it would surely come out at more expensive than that. So look, it's got a chance. I'll see how it goes. I really wanted to do something special with this bike. Over the last 3 weeks I've had it, but I had COVID for the first 2 weeks and it's just been raining ever since. But it's been really interesting to be on a bike that's like, it's a spaceship. I haven't spent much time on big luxurious baggers, and I don't even want to call it a bagger. I'm calling it a limousine. A bagger I think of as like an American V-twin, which has hard bags and stuff, but this is different. This is refined and smooth. The up-down quick shifter is fantastic. It's one of the best put together bikes I've ridden in a long time in terms of fit and finish. So yeah, I rate it highly. It's not for everyone. It's not even really for me, to be honest. The idea of having such an amount of features on a motorcycle. But if you're going big distances with a pillion and stuff, man, you know, your pillion is going to fall in love with you. And you could just ride this thing day in and day out and day in and day out, and you would never get uncomfortable. So that's what it's built for, and it does that really, really well. Anyway, I'm probably boring you to tears in this horrible weather, so I'll sign out. First class motorcycling. What do you think about that?